Okay, it's time to tame the chaos in this particular chaos garden. There is a lot going on here, and some, wasn't planned for, some could have been better planned. That happens all the time. You just go with it. So let's look at what we have. Over on the edge, one of the first things that I planted in this garden are these onions. So here are some nice onion greens coming up here. Then there's a row of beets that has my watermelon trailing back and forth over it. So here are some lovely beets. Oh, this right here is a weed. That's the thing, when it gets full like this, they can hide. It's a little amaranth. I could have left it, but no, we won't have that right now. Volunteer potatoes, and I'm gonna get rid of these potatoes because they're so yellow and brown right now. So I'm gonna pull those out. Zinnia, love a zinnia. More watermelon, some peanuts down here, and then my radishes, which have gone to flower. And I find with radishes, I don't plant them only to eat, although they are really quite delicious roasted. Often I'll plant them to deter pests. They're just a really good companion plant to have. And then when they do go to flower, the pollinators love them. So I always find it a little hard to cut off the radishes and say goodbye to them. But as you can see, this radish is very huge and growing up and into my hot peppers. So I think it's time to get rid of them to make sure that there is enough space for my hot peppers to grow. And then there's a little tiny basil. I'm not sure if you can see that over there, but that's what we're working with. So what are we going to start with? I think the radishes. So this radish, goes all the way up to here, and I'm going to follow my main stem. This particular radish enters the soil right here. So I don't have to actually harvest the radish that's there. I can clip it off, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to clip it off right down next to the soil right here. And it's fine to leave the radish in the soil. It will just break down and nourish the soil, and that way I'm not going to disrupt the roots of anything else that's close by. So let's look at this one right here. I'm going to slide my clippers in. A good snip like that, and carefully disentangle this one. Of course, there's leaves everywhere. My radish is growing into other radishes. My radish is turning into more radishes. There we go. Now I could have left it longer to get some radish seeds, but in this particular case, I really want the space for my peppers, so that's the choice I made. There's my beautiful radish here. Let's do the next one. This radish, I know it goes that way. Let's see where it comes out. So again, really down, close to the soil. You can even kind of go down into the mulch a bit if you want to. Nice snip. There we go. And now, I might have some trouble with this radish taking it out all at once. So I'm even gonna snip here again, take out this piece, come over here, see what I've got. Close my clippers. Which one did I even snip? Which one's loose now? This one. Okay, same thing. I've got a branch coming over this way. Just gonna get it out of the way because as you can see, I've got a watermelon going on it now. There we go. And then there's a snip there. That part out. I'm carefully moving my watermelon vine over this. Oh, another weed. You find the little weeds that have snuck in. Carefully moving my watermelon vine over there because I don't want to put too much pressure on that. This is just more radish. So let's see. Oh, we've got another weed. This weedy is twisty around the radish. Not too many weeds though. I know I keep finding them here, but for the size of the garden, mulch is doing a good job, I think. And then this has a watermelon vine going around it again. So as much as you need to, snip it out in pieces. Making sure that you're snipping what you want to snip. This is good there. This bit, oh, again has a watermelon vine. Which is fine there. And that's more radish to come off. Boop. More radish, that's there, and then through here. This is not a good way to get out aggression. You want to be in a calm state of mind because sometimes the untangling does require just a modicum of patience, or the accidental hurting something can require a little understanding of yourself. But most of the time, everything's fine. Let's see. It's okay. I've got a little tendril on the watermelon here that's attached to a radish seed pod. It's okay to just clip that. I'm going to clip the tendril, not the vine. Don't clip the watermelon vine unless you're trying to prune it anyway. But the tendril itself, that's okay, just so I can get that out. This one, also attached to the radish, this time I'm actually going to unwrap it. Which, you just see how it twists on? Twist it off. Okay. And everything is starting to come together. Or disentangle, however you want to look at it. All right, lift up my watermelon to make sure it does not come out so that my watermelons are supported if and when they form. 1 or 2 last radishes. If I have some small ones, I do tend to like to keep them so that they're going to flower too. Or sometimes I'll come along and just plant some new ones because the smell tends to keep a lot of pests away. You can, harvest them and have some radishes, which is always nice. Or you can just let them go to flower, and it's good for the pollinators. Okay. Yeah, so there's one still here, which that's okay, I can leave that. Now, let's look at the peppers. So, oh, I have beautiful little peppers forming that I hadn't seen before because they were hidden. That's lovely, look in here. Those are my Trinidad scorpions. They're gonna turn red. They're perhaps the world's 3rd hottest pepper. And they're really, really good if you put just a small amount in chocolate cookies, double chocolate cookies. That's exciting. Do I have any others? This one still has potato growing up against it, which is fine. I'm gonna disentangle the leaves just a little bit because it is good to have airflow to not create a environment for moisture to sit and fester and turn into disease. And sometimes you can get that just by encouraging things to move around a little bit, seeing what's where. So this potato could be harvested. This one's getting really close. And this one really should be. So that's the other thing that I'm gonna do. Now, how do you harvest potatoes when they're in the middle of everything else? Because often you'll think of potatoes as being a crop that you get a shovel and you dig them up. You don't wanna do that because of all the other things growing. Well, what I like to do, kind of regardless, is a bit of a minimally soil invasive thing. I just sort of gently pull up the plant, which might be connected to a potato, brace myself that there may also be like quite a yucky potato attached. Oh, look, there's a little one, yay. Like a last year, half decomposed kind of yucky thing could be there. This one looks pretty okay. Yeah, not bad for a volunteer potato. That'll do. And then a couple little babies here. A little tiny, tiny baby. And that, I think, was my gross potato that I just sort of crumbled like compost. It's not bad if it's already pretty well turned into compost, but I don't love it when I find them half turned into compost. And then I use my hand to just see if I notice anything else that's around there. Sometimes they're clumps, because you never know when you might find another potato. And I can see here I might have forgotten or missed this bit too. So let's pull up this bit, which might be attached to something else. Might be attached to the potato I just pulled out. Take that one out. And right here, so I can feel my zinnia. You can see my zinnia root coming down here. So I do want to be a little gentle there. And this root might be coming from the zinnia. So I'm going to tuck that back in. Try to tuck it into the soil, not the mulch. Go kind of in the other direction. And as you can see, from the fact that these potatoes exist, sometimes I miss potatoes and then they grow the next year. And then straight down, there might be one. I think I pretty well got them all, so that's fine. So we'll tuck in, especially my zinnia there. And here's my lovely little peanut, which hopefully I didn't disturb just now. Got a couple potatoes. All right, let's just take another little look. So I do see that this onion over here is also flopped over at the neck, which usually means I can harvest it too. I'm gonna just pick up this, vine that's trying to grow into the grass. There we go. Pick up this vine and put it here. So, I have a lovely little watermelon that's gonna grow. It's flopped over at the neck, probably can come out. And you know what? It's not in a great spot because of the watermelon that's gonna start growing here too. So for my onion, I'm gonna carefully uncover the top area here, again, so I don't disturb the soil too much. I don't wanna, cause too much rupture. And I have fingers just under the onion, which are gonna help with loosening it so it doesn't break off at the neck. And just gently sort of pushing up. Here's my beautiful, beautiful onion. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Potatoes and onions. Yum. And same thing, I'm back. Just gonna rearrange the soil there. Maybe rearrange this vine just a little bit. Might as well look at my beets, see how they're doing. So you want to be able to look, especially when it's crowded like this and you could miss it otherwise, all the way down to the soil level so that you can see, are there beets that are trying to shoulder up, but commensurate with the size of the leaves. The beets still need a little bit of time there. That's great. I always, always love to see these little shells in the garden. They're just a little whimsical touch that I enjoy. All right. So for now, I think that's all I'm going to do with this garden here, which is still very chaotic, just a little bit more manageable. Move on. I'll deal with the next chaotic garden as it comes. And however your garden grows, keep growing as a gardener.